For Penn State Greater Allegheny Athletics, I'm Zach Ziegler. Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of Coach Jack, currently joined by Penn State Greater Allegheny baseball coach Eric Kuczma. And Eric, you guys got a big win against Fayette on Tuesday. You split against Montalto on Friday. Now 4-2 in conference play. Talk about this last really week of action, what you've liked from your guys.
Well, the past week we got a split against Montalto. Again, I said this to our guys, and I feel like a broken record, but it was just like the Du Bois series where we lost the first game in the last inning. We kind of gave up a lead. They chipped away, they chipped away, they chipped away. We had a couple of defensive mistakes in that last inning, and they were able to push across the fifth run to take us 5-4. And game two, Daly came out, and you know, he pitched his rear end off. And we were able to get that split, but it was very much the same scenario as it was with Du Bois, where you hate to be greedy and say we should have taken two, but we very easily could have taken two. And so, you know, I told the guys, you know, it sucks for us that we split with Du Bois and we split with Montalto, but they split with us too. So, you know, it's going to come down to that rubber match. I think with Du Bois next Wednesday on the 18th and with Montalto on the 23rd, which will be our last game of the year. So the way it's shaken up, those games are going to mean an awful lot to us as far as where we place in the seedings. Clearly we want to get the #1 seed, get the first round bye, don't have to play a play-in game, and just get to the conference championships. So you know, our guys, we pitched well, our numbers looked very good. As far as our offensive and defensive indicators go over the weekend against Montalto. You and I were talking a little bit ago, just going over the numbers with the pitchers. Daly won the pitcher of the week, the PSUAC pitcher of the week. He was 81% first pitch strikes, 80% 1-0 strikes. Just taking a look. 1 3-ball count and a whip of 1. Okay, so on average 1 base runner per inning, and that's, you know, we like to keep those numbers. That's what we focus on, keeping guys off of base. Okay, attacking guys early in the count. Okay, getting ahead of hitters, getting them on and out in 3 pitches, and he did a great job of that. The numbers bear it out. He gave up 1 run, you know, in his start. The Fayette game, just because of scheduling and the weather and everything, we had to schedule that. That was the second half of our scheduled doubleheader. We were able to take that game from them also. Matt Smith and David West, they did a great job combining for, you know, to give up 1 run against those guys. And as I said before, you know, Fayette, they're an up-and-coming team. We faced their #1 pitcher again. We were able to do some things early and put pressure on their defense, whether it was bunting, stealing, having guys on base. We were able to do things against them to keep them kind of on their toes. And we were able to get some runs early, and our pitching did the rest.
And you mentioned that Daniel Daly won the Pitcher of the Week this week. Earlier in the year, Adam Jacko won the Hitter of the Week award. What's that say about your team that your guys are getting recognized around the conference, not just on the team themselves?
Well, when you look at those guys, those are both seniors. Okay, they've been through, you know, the ringer, so to speak, over their collegiate career. I remember Daly, for instance, on those teams years ago. He was pretty far down on the depth chart as far as pitching goes, just because we had, you know, #1, he was a freshman, but we also had a lot of, again, veteran established pitchers. And he's really come into his own on our staff this year. Just looking at his growth, he has become much more intense and much more serious about his craft. He gets frustrated if he, you know, I said, Daly, you're pitching great. You know, what's the problem? Why are you upset? Why are you upset? What's the matter? He said, well, I don't like giving up hits. Well, I don't know that he's ever thrown a no-hitter at any level, you know, so he's going to give up hits, but it's that competitive drive. He doesn't want to have a flaw. He gets upset, you know, if we make mistakes behind him, as he should, you know, and that's the mark of, you know, just that's him being a veteran guy, and him really caring about the ball club and the program and really wanting to have success. And as for Jacko, again, another senior guy. That's what he ought to be doing. You know what I mean? He's doing exactly what he should be, And so we preach all the time, process over results. He's another guy that works the process, okay, has a lot of quality at bats. We talked about pitch selection and having an approach at the plate. And he's executed it. He has the veteran understanding of what he's trying to do at the plate. He's done a great job for us, And so I think, both of those guys are focusing on the little things. And when you focus on those and you're successful with those details, the broader success is going to come. And it has for those guys. And I'm really happy for them.
Currently joined by Penn State Greater Allegheny baseball coach Eric Kuczma. And Eric, you guys now sit at 4-2 in conference play, currently third place in the PSUAC West. You've been a part of a couple championship teams here at Greater Allegheny. Kind of compare this season to other past seasons where you guys have made the playoffs, and what are some similarities, what are some differences?
I think the biggest difference is just the way the schedule has had to set up due to the weather. When we were on, those teams where we went 20-0 in conference play, it was spaced out, and we played the eastern half of the state also. So it's a different format. Between the weather and the way things are scheduled, it seems like all of our conference schedule has been compressed into these last 3 weeks of the season. So it makes it tough to, number one, to play, as we talked about before, the tough non-conference games and to really challenge our guys outside of conference and kind of play up. Just because we have to focus on winning these conference games. Now, some of the similarities, it's kind of our approach. It's, okay, let's identify who's going to be at the end of the year, who's going to be at the top of the conference. Okay, number one goal, we have to get the number one seed in the western side of the bracket. And then, we'll see how it plays out. But it's very important to get that number one seed. And we're in position to be in position to do it. So, again, just, similarities to those conference championship teams, they understood, okay, we have to win our side number one, first and foremost. Okay, back then it was winning the conference outright, getting the number one overall seed. Now it's winning our side of the bracket, getting our number one seed. Once we take care of that, I've been telling these guys all year, we have the talent to do it. We have to make sure that we don't drop games to teams that we shouldn't drop them to. Because I guarantee you, some of the other teams, there's always a system perturbation. There's always a hiccup someplace. Somebody drops a game that they shouldn't drop, and it cost them in the seeding. And we're focused, okay, 100%. We need to wrap up the series against Fayette. Okay, get the sweep on Sunday. We need to sweep Beaver this weekend. And if we do that, again, we're going to be in position to be in position. We cannot drop one of these games.
I forgot my freaking question. I'll have to edit this, but I forgot my
That's
question.
okay.
What was I going to ask? Oh yeah, I know. You brought up the weather being a factor in scheduling of games, and that's really caused you this weekend to have to play a ton of games in a row. As you mentioned, you have the doubleheader Friday, single game Saturday, and then back for a single game on Sunday. How do you keep your guys ready to go and ready to play all these games back to back to back?
Well, I think the hardest thing is what you do in the downtime. I really believe that. We've been cooped up, again, since mid-January, and I've never seen a season like this that I've been a part of where it's consistently rain, snow, wind, cold, some combination of it. So the hard part isn't on this weekend when we're going to get out and get a chance to play in some nice baseball weather against good competition. The hard part is keeping those guys, figuring out different ways to change things up in the gym, give the guys off a couple days here and there, sprinkled in, because it just gets so monotonous once you get cooped up inside and once you're stuck. So this weekend, this is gravy for us. We get to go out and get on a field and play those games. Our guys are fresh because it's been so spaced out the way it has been. So we have a tough stretch coming up with, again, everything being compressed, but we're ready to go. We're ready to get on a field more than anything. I mean, we can't wait to get out there and compete because we've lost a lot of games. We lost a couple games with Point Park because conference games got moved. We lost a couple games with Bethany because games got moved, and then the rain canceled that one. So we've lost some games, and I know that our guys want to get out there and play. And we're fresh. We're ready to go. Our arms are ready. We just want to get out there and get after it, you know.
And finally, you mentioned you're in position for this playoff race, trying for that #1 seed. What's that one thing you guys have to do to get over the hump and get that #1 seed for sure?
Well, it's win the series, just consistently winning the series. We need to sweep Fayette, all right? We need to win the series against Beaver, and those two rubber match games against Mont Alto and Du Bois, they're going to be the decision makers as far as our playoff seeding goes. So, I mean, you know, our guys, we come out, we expect to win every single game. We still have a couple games against New Kent, but I really think that winning both of those series against Du Bois and Mont Alto, those are the two teams that are in front of us in the standings. And again, we had a split with both of them. If we can win that third game against both of them, we're going to be very much in position to be the #1 seed in our side of the conference.
Thanks, Eric, and good luck this weekend.
No problem, Zachary. I think you could send this into the TV and Radio Hall of Fame. This is a winner right here.
For Penn State Greater Allegheny Athletics, I'm Zach Ziegler.